Hi all, it's me Anne from Geeks of Green, and today I will show you 5 plants in my balcony that have beautiful variegated leaves. Now I do have a few more other plants that have variegated leaves, but I am not including them in this list because they are newer and they are still not established. So probably I'll do another video down the line with a few more exciting plants that have beautiful variegated leaves. For now we will stick to 5 that I truly enjoy in my balcony, and they are established. They've been with me for some time and they have kind of adjusted. So let's start with the first one, the Syngonium Elbow. As you can see, the variegated leaves are really pretty on this plant. That is the reason I kept it, but it is not among my favorite plants, I would say, because it is a plant that needs a lot of attention and it's a little fussy and it struggles and it doesn't grow as well in my balcony. Maybe the conditions for it are not right. I still haven't pegged it. So right now it is sitting under a tube light and it is growing well under the tube light, so I have kept it there. Till now I have been moving its moving spots and keeping it here and there, trying to get a spot for it that it will really enjoy. But this plant, like all syngoniums, is prone to mealybugs and you have to really keep an eye on it. So once there's a mealybug infestation, the plant starts going on the downhill. Now it's not a plant that will die because of a mealybug infestation very easily. It kind of struggles for a long time. If you don't do anything, then maybe it might die. But if you keep treating it and giving it what it needs, it will grow. So I wouldn't rate this as a fast grower or a very easy to keep plant, but definitely a beautiful variegated plant with really gorgeous variegated leaves. And now the Syngonium prices have gone down, so you get this for pretty cheap. If you look online on Facebook or something like that, you might get your hands on this one. I still haven't seen it in my local nursery, so I don't think it's very readily available everywhere, but some places, yes, it might be. So this is a plant that came to me as a single leaf plant and it has been growing steadily. So I'm really happy with how it has grown and come to this stage. This next one is the Hedera Helix, or the English ivy, which is still sitting in a very small pot and it has grown very less since the time I bought it. If you remember, I had shown it to you in a video. Probably this much is new growth, but the leaves are growing close to each other and they are quite healthy. Some leaves are small, some leaves are big size. But this is another plant that I would say I would put in this list because I love the variegation on it. The variegation is on the edges and it looks really pretty. So this is one of my favorites. Super slow grower, but as long as it's growing, I keep my fingers crossed and I hope that it continues to grow and nothing happens to it, because it's again a super fussy plant and it can cause a lot of grief. So really happy with this one and I hope that it will continue to grow this way. This one's the next one that I would put in this list because of its very beautiful white variegated leaves. Especially this new shoot is getting leaves that are much more white. This is the Ficus Elastica variegated. I think it's a Tineki. I will put the variant name on the screen for you. This one's a very pretty looking plant. It needs its sunlight. If you give it as much as you can, even if you're in a low exposure, if you have a low exposure space like mine, you give it put it in a spot where you receive maximum light, or maximum indirect bright light, and this will kind of grow. But if you give it more light, it will do much better. This plant has been growing pretty steadily. It grows really slow. So I had got it when it was much smaller. The new shoots are all new additions to this plant, and it's been growing steadily. It has adjusted to my balcony and now I think it's establishing itself. So it's a very good looking plant. It is hardy if you give it what it wants. If you starve it of light or if you overwater it, then it won't survive. So give it what it wants, and the Ficus Elastica will survive and will look really gorgeous in your home. The fourth plant is actually on my railing. It has been there for the longest time. I will put footage of it on the screen as I talk about it, because it's very difficult for me to pull it out. It might lose a few leaves and I don't want that to happen right now. It is a Ficus triangularis variegata. Now this plant has been with me for quite some time, and though it's a fussy plant and very temperamental, if you don't water it, it will drop its leaves. If you don't give it what it wants, it will drop its leaves. Slight changes in position might make it drop its leaves. So you have to give it what it wants, find a spot for it and keep it there. If it's doing well, don't move it much, but also keep in mind season changes and things like that for that plant, because when the conditions change, it again might drop its leaves. In summer, you need to water it more frequently than in the winters. Ensure that the soil is draining completely when you water. So the best way to keep your plants from being overwatered is ensure that it's not sitting in any water that is in a plate or in a plate under it, or any soggy soil, too much moisture retaining soil that doesn't dry up easily. Put a medium that will drain out fast and dry up quicker to save your plants from overwatering. Now, this one you need to be extra careful with, but it is a rewarding plant because it's so pretty. Though the leaf is triangle shaped, the edges are white and the green patch in between looks like a little heart, which makes me adore this plant. I find it very, very cute and very pretty. The form of the plant is also nice. It's a bushy plant, so if you're looking to decorate your gardens or your balconies, it's a perfect ornamental plant and it's a good plant to go. And the variegation is really very pretty. So this is another one that's on my list for variegated plants. The last one I would definitely talk about is my Monstera alboborsigiana, the variegated one, and it is one of my favorites because it's been growing so steadily. I still have to do a lot for this one. As you can see, it's right next to me here, and it's spreading out. This portion has become the aroid crazy spot where all the plants are, kind of holding hands and doing whatever they want. They're growing crazy because this area gets a little bit of eastern sun, and that is what these plants need. A little bit of light, at least a little bit of direct dappled light. So that's what they're getting here, and they're growing happily. Plus the seaweed fertilizer is doing wonders for them, and the moss spores are doing good for them. So this plant is a plant that I had got very long back from Rickshaw Nursery, and I'd got it for much cheaper than it is being sold now. So please don't go back to Rickshaw Nursery and demand it in the price that I paid for it, because that's really not nice. With the time, prices of plants change. And the owner of the nursery requested me to make this statement to you all, so that you all keep that in mind and don't demand the same prices that I show you in my videos, because in time it changes. The demand is different and the prices keep going up and down. So right now this is a very expensive plant, and it's difficult to get your hands on, but if you do get your hands on, it's not very difficult to grow. Now it's time for me to propagate this one because it's grown pretty big, and I will be making props. So this plant has a very interesting pattern. It's got one leaf that is a half moon leaf, one leaf that grows like this with a variegation, and one leaf that's plain. So that keeps happening. It's a very alternate pattern. Variegated, plain, variegated, plain, variegated, plain. That's how it's been going. I intend to make props with only the variegated portion and see if I get more variegated leaves, and if I'm able to, kind of make plants that have more variegated leaves than green leaves. But I feel this is good because it balances out the health of the plant. The photosynthesis that the leaves do, the green leaves do, is also very important, and that's how the plant is healthy and growing well. So that is also there. That's another factor that I need to consider. But when your plant is growing so well, you can definitely experiment, and I am going to be experimenting and seeing what I can do with this plant, as it's already grown so much. It's one of my favorites. It's been there with me for quite a lot of time. It's not in a very big pot, it's in a small pot, but the nutrition that it gets is via the seaweed solution that me and my husband keep spraying on it, and we do fertilize it once in 15 days as well. So yeah, this is definitely on the top of my list for variegated plants. I was really lucky to get it when I got it for a very good price, and now I hope that I can grow it for a very long time. I would like to include a few more plants that I got: the variegated Monstera stanleyana and my Philodendron giganteum. But right now the variegation on that is very limited, so I didn't include it in the video. And the stanleyana is still adjusting to my house because it's a new plant, so I didn't include them. I also do have some Hoyas that are variegated, which I am not including, but and even the Tradescantia, variegated Tradescantias that I'm not including. Plus, there are many other plants, I would say, but these definitely are on the top of my list, and I really love the variegation on them. So if you like this video, do give us a thumbs up. It really makes us happy. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe if you love green content, and hit the bell icon for all further notifications of videos that we upload. Also, do go and check out our store as well. We have a lot of planty merchandise out there which we have curated and made by ourselves. So I hope to see you soon in the next video in the coming week. Till then, stay great.